Do we do what we are motivated by, or are we motivated by what we do? I've had the idea for this question some time ago while I was talking to a friend. They had meditating as one of their New Year's resolutions, and that is where the idea of this video came. Now, I may not have exactly a book or a paper to reference with me, but I'm sure you'll benefit from this video nonetheless. So let's get into it. Now, in that conversation, they said it's something that they would really enjoy and would likely go on to do it for a much longer time, but they just didn't have the motivation to start it in that moment. Which leads us then to ask, what is motivation? It's the feeling when we see a shiny new gadget, a car, a watch, a house, and we think to ourselves that we really want that. But in that moment, motivation is just temporary. It's an impulse, something that is given to us by these meat sacks in our heads. So we need something much more reliable and something that we can actually build and develop. So isn't it better to learn how to build that from the ground up? Exactly what this video is for. But before we can do that, we need to establish that there's two types of motivation. We have extrinsic motivation and we have intrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation comes from a personal belief or conviction about something. Maybe it's you feel really fulfilled by doing that action, or maybe it makes you feel like you're sticking by your ideals or your principles. While on the other hand, extrinsic motivation comes from an external force. So maybe that's praise from your friends and family. Maybe it's some kind of monetary reward. Or it can be something of any other kind, as long as it's coming from the outside and not from within you. Although our first focus should always be intrinsic motivation, not external motivation, because I feel intrinsic motivation is a lot more stable of a foundation to build upon. Extrinsic motivation is more like a supplement that you're adding to what should already be there. So then, how do you build motivation to do something every day? For this example, we're just going to take exercise, since it's usually a very large and common thing as a goal to have for people. Your best bet is writing down the exercise routine or exercise list that you're going to do for that day and break it down to as many smaller pieces as you can, like exercise by exercise on a list or a piece of paper or something. And so as you go through each and every exercise of it, cross them out and put a nice little tick beside it, because the idea here is gathering as many small achievements as you can, because that in turn will build the momentum that will push you forward to finishing the end of that list. Because I feel, at least personally for me, if I start something, it's really hard to leave it alone until I completely finish it. And that is what that tip capitalizes on. Choose what appeals to you most. If the goal itself is exercising regularly and you're not training for the Olympics, then it's much easier to choose an exercise that you prefer rather than another that you hate. That is assuming that both of them will achieve the same goal that you want. So for example, if you're going for cardio but you really hate swimming, you can do jump rope, or vice versa, of course. Because choosing an exercise that you actively hate will take a lot more willpower to just get on started with the freaking thing, and that will make it a lot harder to continue and improve upon in the future that is to come. Basically, it will just feel like a lot of drag and for not a lot of work, so might as well just do what you like. Without a goal, you can't score. To be fair, I got this quote from the internet because I thought it would fit this kind of segment of the video. Now, going back to our exercise example, exercising regularly is already a very commendable achievement. You're doing better than most people. But I feel that when you're aiming for a certain type of body or skill that you're trying to master, it's a lot easier to stay on course and stay motivated to keep working out every single day if you have that thing to aim for and to achieve. So now that we have that motivation, we need to understand how to use it best, because it's not exactly an unlimited well. You're gonna run out of it at some point. So we need to understand how to use it best. Most research indicates that we should do the tasks that feel like the biggest weight on us as early in the day as possible, because that's when we have most of our willpower. And as the day drags on, it gets lower and lower and lower. Similarly, we shouldn't spend our energy on decisions that don't really matter, also known as decision fatigue. This is why you see a lot of pictures of those CEOs wearing the exact same shirt and pants all the time, everywhere. It's for that idea. They don't want to waste their time on things that don't really matter and decisions that won't really impact their day, so they choose something that is very constant, easy to do, and you can just get on with your day. And if you need to recharge your energy, you have one of three choices really. Either you're going to do something fun, and disconnected from all the doodads and electronics and all that, or you're going to go and eat something, a snack, maybe something to just recharge you a bit, or just go and take a nap. Either one of those three will work, but again, they're not exactly infinite either, because you can only take so many naps and only eat so many things. We're not trying to become 859 pounds over here. But that is everything for this video. If you need help with more habit building kind of things, you can go watch my video about the compound effect by Darren Hardy. There's a lot of very useful stuff in there as well. So go forth, my child, embrace the teachings that I hath imparted upon you, and I look forward to seeing what you do with it when you send your achievements to me on my socials that I will link down in the description below. Subscribe so you can get more helpful stuff from my channel, and don't forget to smile, it'll make you feel a lot better. Bye!